Here's another comment that I really liked. I want to share with everybody. Another comment on the video Q&A. It's hair loss your enemy, if not what actually is. Christian Horror. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. And I took like 5 years of French, if that's French. He says this, quote, hair loss is the symptom, I love the word symptom, of the destructive aspect of my idealism. It is, or was, the fear to stay lonely and to be confronted with myself. Starting to get to know me better helped with accepting and especially respecting my hair loss. It now makes more sense to me why I lose my hair. It matches my constructive ideals, attitude, and belief. That's an intelligent answer, and I love that. I love to see, it's funny because I'll get these messages of desperation from 15-year-old guys who wash up on the shores of my channel and it's the end of the world, and then I get people like this who've been with me a while. Christian's been watching my channel for a while, and I feel like he's been able to kind of follow my lead on this and realize and unpack what's actually going on here. I like, though, hair loss is the symptom of the destruction aspect of his idealism. So strip away hair loss, and now he's getting to the real issues. There's a fear that he's still maybe struggling with of staying lonely. And he said, I have to be confronted with myself. He has to he's got to know himself better. Here's what this reminds me of. Maybe it might seem unrelated to you, but on my other channel, Family Friendly Daddy Blog, my wife and I made a video together a few days ago, and it was called Millennial Parents' Response to Mayim Bialik's Competing Parent Story, something like that. And on there, it's a longer video that my wife and I kind of deconstruct. But one of the things I say in there, I know most of you aren't parents, but my wife and I obviously are. We have a 7-year-old and a 1.5-year-old daughter. And there's a concept that parents compete with each other. Who's the best parent? And they're showing off on Facebook, and they're meeting at these groups trying to compete with one another. And what I say is, if you're sure of yourself and you're sure of your identity, there's no reason to compete. In fact, if you're competing, you're automatically the loser. The only way to win is to not compete in that. And you're thinking, well, Nick, that doesn't apply to me. You're 36, you're married, you've been married nearly a decade, you've got 2 kids. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It totally relates to you. Because even in the blog post I did for that on familyfriendlydaddyblog.com, I did a blog post that matches up to the video. And I said, it goes back to like in junior high. I remember my mom, the concept of people teasing each other. There was this one girl in particular who was just really, I was in her social circles, there was really no way to get around her, and she was just constantly trying to belittle me with anything she could try to say to me. And as a 13-year-old guy, I was still kind of forming my identity. And like, for example, I know this sounds petty, and it is, but what year would this have been? If I was 13, this would have been like 1994, like the winter season of 94. So how many years ago was that? Be like 23 years ago. I got these new sneakers, and they were white, and she saw them and said, you can't have white sneakers in the winter time. That's so out of style. That's so out of season. And so I was so happy about these new white shoes that I got, but then she said that, and then I told my mom, I was like, well, this girl said this. And then my mom, and she said this to me many times in my childhood, she said, Nick, you're not the one that needs to be insecure. She is the one insecure. She is the one, more so than you, that hasn't figured out her identity yet. And she's projecting that onto you and everyone else who will be receptive to it. So it ultimately comes down to whether you're processing your future of hair loss, or whether you're a parent who feels pressure that other parents are saying that you're not a good parent in some way. And it's funny because I have 2 different channels, one that's really kind of focusing toward people in their 30s or late 20s, and another that's mainly focused on people in their late teens and early 20s. And I'm seeing the same thing happen. If you're not sure of your identity and secure in your identity, then you're susceptible to all of these issues. So I love this comment because it really addresses those things, and it shows how Christian is doing a great job on his hair loss journey, confronting the actual demons, the actual issues, knowing that hair loss is just a symptom. And imagine, and I always go back to this, some people will say, well, Nick, I'm 21 and I'm already got less hair than you. You look at you, you're Norwood 2.5 Vertex, and you've still got all those hair. It's easy for you to say because you've already got married, you've already established in your life. Yes, but the advantage is you get to be more confident in yourself by overcoming something ultimately superficial. You get that advantage that I didn't have. I didn't get that until a couple of years ago. Only when I started making these videos did I get that. And what happened is it bled into other parts of my life. It wasn't just about me dealing with, okay, I'm maybe starting to go bald, but it made me a more confident person in so many ways. It inspired me to do that video where I challenged the whole world to insult me, proving that no one can insult me because only I control my emotions. All of that stemmed from my own hair loss journey, which has been featured on this channel. It's funny to think, even just with me doing these videos, it's helped me in my own journey in this, and to realize, man, if you can overcome the fear of hair loss, you can overcome so many other things. Now I live my life. My life is so much easier. And even in my marriage is so much easier. Why? Because my wife never hurts my feelings anymore. And imagine the phrase I just said. My wife never hurts my feelings anymore. Now, has she changed? That's debatable. Have I changed? Yes. By not even allowing her permission to affect me emotionally, negatively, my life is easier now. And it's not just with her, it's with everybody. My life is easier now. It's freedom that I have. So here's the way I want you to look at it. No matter what age you are, as you're experiencing hair loss and you're uncertain about your future, just think, if you can get to the point where you can relate to what I'm saying and even relate to what Christian is saying, it's going to be a major advantage, and it's something to look forward to. If you're not able to get to that point, what hope is there for you? You're going to continue to be looking the other way and too focused on maybe my thinning spot to notice what's going on. In reality, I'm moving this way, and you're more than welcome to move with me and Christian.